given to the UK media first up, and then we'll take questions from everybody else. James Anderson, England Seamer. We'll start with Sonia from the Press Association. Go ahead, Sonia.
Hi Jimmy, you're the only member of the England squad who's been out here before. It's a few years later now. How are you finding it?
Yeah, it's been great. We've had an amazing welcome. All the guys are really excited to be back here. Even the guys that weren't here 17 years ago understand how big a tour this is in terms of world cricket, not just the two teams that are here. So yeah, we're delighted to be here and excited to get going on Thursday.
What have you made of the pitch and everything so far? You've had a bit of a look at it over the first couple of days. Any idea how it's going to play, especially for your bowling?
Not really. I'm not a great pitch reader, so a couple of days out, it's always hard to tell. One thing we have noticed that there's been a bit of dew around in the morning when we've got here for practice, so that could play a part. There might be a little bit of moisture in the wicket early on. Well, I'll be hoping for that as well. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see on Thursday what happens.
And as the only player to have been here before, have you sort of given any advice to those who haven't, maybe?
Well, yeah, we've been talking quite a lot about what the wicket might be like. We've looked at the Australia game from last year. We've looked at the South Africa game from I think the year before that. So trying to just get ideas of what to expect when we go out there on Thursday. And as we always do, we especially the bowling group, we try and talk quite a lot. And I can just about remember that tour last time, so I'm trying to rack my brains for how those wickets played. But I think we've got to try and have a fairly fresh, open mind on Thursday and try and, just adapt well to the conditions.
Any more from the UK before we hand over? Yeah, go ahead, Lawrence, and then we'll go out.
Jimmy, you've seen most things around the world, but how excited do you still get by what is essentially a new challenge for you out here?
Yeah, really excited. I think, especially after the summer we had in Test cricket, we felt like we were building something, and we want to keep that going, keep that momentum building. And yeah, to be a part of that in the summer was amazing, and to then be a part of what is a really exciting challenge for us out here. Different conditions to what we will have experienced before as a group. It's a really exciting challenge, and I think all of us are just chomping at the bit.
Ali, go ahead.
How much work have you been able to do with the older ball in preparation for this series, and how big a factor do you think that will play getting it to reverse potentially?
Yeah, as I said, I've been out here for longer than most people. I was out here with the Lions in Dubai, so we're trying to get some older ball work done there. Again here, we're trying to mix up what sort of ball we use. We're using new balls, old balls, and in between as well. There's going to be times where seamers are going to have to bowl when the ball's not doing a lot, and find ways of getting wickets, so we're trying to cover that base as well. But just looking at the pitch in the outfield, it looks quite lush, so whether reverse will play a huge part, I'm not sure here at this particular ground, but as I said, we're trying to cover all bases and make sure we've got options if and when we need them.
Simon, and then we'll go to Dean.
Jimmy, it looks like you'll be working alongside Ollie Robinson. Can you just say what it's like bowling with him as a partnership? What he brings to the work ethic?
Yeah, well, he's great. He's just he's quite an experienced bowler, even though he's not played a huge amount of Test cricket. He's very skillful, but he also wants to learn all the time. So we talk quite a lot, not just out on the field in practice, not just in the game, but away from cricket as well. We try and just always picking each other's brains, trying to learn things and do anything we can to improve each other's game and improve the team's chance of getting 20 wickets.
Dean, and then we'll take some questions from the Pakistan media.
James, hi. There's no fast bowling coach on this tour. Oh, hello. How have you found that responsibility? I know you've kind of been a sort of de facto kind of player coach for a little while in terms of passing on your knowledge and experiences to the younger bowlers, but how have you kind of found it, kind of not working with another fast bowling coach this time around?
I think it's been really good for us. I mean, we've only been out here for a week or so in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, sorry, and then a few days here. But as I said, as bowlers, we talk all the time to each other. There's not many seamers here, to be honest, so there's not much to coach. But we're just trying to, as I said, trying to make sure we've got all bases covered for every eventuality, and make sure what fields we might set, talking specifics about their batters as well, trying to work out plans for them. But yeah, I think, at this level, it's happened for a few years now in the test team in particular, where we sort of, I wouldn't say we're self-sufficient, but we do look after each other and try and, we've got great analysts, we've got other coaches around us, we've got some of the best captains that the world's ever seen in our group, so we can pick their brains as well, and we feel like we've got what it takes to be able to take 20 wickets in each test match.
And have you enjoyed that aspect of it? Is it something that you probably want to keep doing even when the playing stops?
I mean, you're talking as if I've been coaching. I haven't done a thing, mate. I've been concentrating on my own game, and as I said, it's something I've felt like I've had that responsibility for a number of years, where I've got experience, a lot of experience of playing, so I can try and help guys that come into the group, but also they help me as well. So it's like a two-way thing. We all help each other and try and improve each other, because it's all about getting 20 wickets at the end of the day. It doesn't. That's the main objective for the group, and however we get there, then yeah.
You've spoken before about sometimes wishing you had the skills that you've got now when you were younger and taking on some of those players back in the day. I mean, 17 years obviously is a long time, but how kind of excited are you about the skills that you've got now, and how much of a better bowler you are now meeting this challenge than obviously 17 years ago?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love a mile an hour or two that I had back then now, but yeah, the skills I think are, obviously I've worked hard to try and develop things that will help me all around the world. I feel like I've got skills that can help me anywhere in the world, so hopefully I can show that in the next few weeks. But just because I've got the skills doesn't necessarily mean I'll be fine and I'll take wickets. I've still got to bowl well, still got to execute the skills when it matters out on the field. So that's what I'll be focusing on the next few weeks.
Go ahead, sir.
Jimmy, welcome to Pakistan. It's an honor to have the leading wicket taker here. 667 wickets in 175 test match. You've been a role model to the young fast bowlers. What's the secret behind your fitness? Because at 40 you're bowling superbly. Age is just number?
Yeah, it isn't just the number. I think I'm very fortunate that I'm naturally quite fit, but it's something that certainly the last 5 years, 6 years, I've worked really hard on. And I feel very fortunate that I'm still here, very fortunate to be able to be back in Pakistan after so long. And yeah, just I feel very fortunate.
Jimmy, you've done it before, you'll do it once more. What are your prime targets when you put to test your skills on unresponsive pitches of the subcontinent?
Well, I think that is it. The challenge is trying to find something in unresponsive pitches. That is the sort of skill of being a test cricketer who plays all around the world. You've got to try and find ways of taking wickets. I think the introduction of Ben as captain and Brendan as coach has also helped in terms of thinking outside the box, in terms of field settings and plans that you use on the field. And I think we might have to maybe think outside the box a little bit over the next few weeks. So yeah, it's sort of, I've quite enjoyed the fact that they've taken maybe the run rate away from the thinking of bowlers, and our main focus is wickets. We've got to take 20 wickets, and yeah, that's our focus for the next few weeks.
James, you have a very long association with cricket and very, very big fan following in Pakistan too. Any message for them? And my second question is this, how are you targeting Babar Azam, Azhar Ali, and Shan Sur as well? Pakistani batting is strong. Any plans for targeting them?
Well, firstly, as I've already said, it's amazing to be back here, and I say thank you on behalf, not just myself, but the whole team for the welcome we've had. We know how many cricket fans there are in Pakistan and how much they love and support not just Pakistan cricket team, but cricket in general around the world. So we're delighted to be back here. And in terms of the opposition team, we know how good they are. You know, we've seen that in all formats of the game, and in particular in Test cricket and in particular in Pakistan in the last couple of years. So I don't think it's dangerous to focus on one or two players because we know how strong their batting lineup is from 1 to 8. So we've got to make sure we've got plans for all of them. We're well aware how important a wicket Babar is for Pakistan, being the captain as well as I'd say their best player. So you know, yes, we will give him attention, but also we need to focus on the other guys as well because they're very strong.
Jimmy, you have over 650 wickets in Test cricket, but not a single one in Pakistan yet. So are you excited to open up your wickets account here? And if you can tell me whom you want it to be, your first wicket in Pakistan.
Well, I've not played a Test match here, so I'm delighted to be, or have the chance to be able to play here. And if I don't care who it is, as long as I get a wicket and try and help the team towards a win. That's what we've come here for. We want to win the series. So that's our main focus, yeah.
3 more, this gentleman here. And
My name is Zulfikar Beg. You are a world-class bowler. You performed tremendously against India. What do you think about our batting lineup? And as you said, this wicket is comparatively sport for the spinner. What do you say about this?
Yeah, well, as I just said, I think Pakistan have got a very strong team. You know, they've got all areas covered with pace, and their batting, I think, is really strong and good spinners. So we've got to be on top of our game to get anything out of this series. So we've come here to win, as I've said. We'll be giving attention to all their players. We want to make sure we've got plans for all of them. And essentially, at the end of the day, we've got to play well. It's about performing on that day, over the 5 days. If we perform as well as we can, we feel like we can beat anyone in the world. So we've just got to make sure we do that, adapt to the conditions. We're not sure what we're going to get here, but yeah, hopefully we can play well.
Jimmy, welcome to Pakistan. Hope you guys have been looked after well. My question for you is regarding the strategy England has adopted after the last 1 year, the baseball formula, attacking right from the word go. Do you think that methodology is the way to go in the Test cricket in the future? Also, how threatening is that for you as a bowler, considering that other teams will adopt the same strategy? When you run into ball, you have this thing in the back of your mind that batters will attack you right from the word go.
Yeah, well, I think it's great. I think we something that worked well for us in our summer, and it's something, judging by how we've practiced over the last few days, it's something that we're going to continue doing, and just try and be even more aggressive if we can. It's been great for me. It's given myself a slightly different mindset with the ball, trying to always take wickets, not just trying to hold up an end or keep the economy rate low. It's always about taking wickets. So that focus for me, it might sound strange, saying that I haven't always focused on taking wickets in the past, but that has been the case at times. So I've enjoyed that side of it. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if people do take the same approach, but we've got to be ready for that if they do. As I said, the guys in the nets are playing pretty aggressively, so it's keeping us bowlers on our toes and giving us other things to think about.
Two more, this gentleman on the end.
Jimmy, Pakistan have a great bowling combination. As a fast bowler, how do you rate Pakistani bowling attack?
Yeah, I think it's really good, really strong. We've seen over the last few years they've got good strength in depth. The young guys coming through have done fantastically well. They might be not that experienced there, but we know that the talent's there. So again, as I said, we've got to be prepared for them to come hard at us, and there'll be times I know when we're going to have to soak up some pressure because they're going to bowl well, but there will be times I think when we can put pressure back on them, and it's just about getting that balance right for us.
Jimmy, something about your career. 175 tests, 675 wickets, or 40 years of age, and still going strong. Have you set some targets for yourself before calling it a day?
No, I've never set targets, and I don't think I ever will. I'm enjoying being around this group, enjoying playing cricket. As long as my body will allow, I'll try and do it to the best of my ability and see where we get to in the future. I don't know, you know, it could be 6 months, a year, 2 years, who knows. I'll just keep trying to keep myself fit, keep bowling well, keep taking wickets for the team and see what happens.
Thank you. Thanks, James.
Cheers.